Are fig trees deer resistant? Let's find out. So we're about to head out in my orchard here, and yesterday while I was out there watering all of my fig trees, something caught my eye, and it got me a little bit nervous at first, but as I walked through them and took note of a few other things that I noticed, I thought, we're probably okay here. But I want to take you out there and show you what I saw and what I believe it is, the goods, the bads, and the ugly, and in the end, what we're going to do about it. So when I started this fig orchard behind me, you guys know, if you've been following, that one of my biggest concerns was, are we going to be okay with the deer? Because I have deer that just wander through here constantly out in this orchard area, and I didn't fence it off because it was going to be really expensive and time consuming, and I need to just get these things planted, get them in the ground. So I did a lot of research on how this was going to work out and whether or not the fig trees are actually deer resistant, because I need to know if I was going to have to put up this time and investment up front, or if we were going to be able to get away with something here. So here's what I found out. So far, we've been doing great. And if you saw that last update on the fig orchard, you will see that I talked about the deer resistant part of it. I walked you through and showed you every fig tree and showed you that we didn't have a single bite out of a single tree. However, I've got deer droppings all over this area, and I've seen footprints, and I know they wander out here constantly. But I need to take you over here now and show you something that I saw yesterday while I was watering, and at first my heart skipped a beat, but then I realized we're probably okay. Look at this. Look at this little guy. So this is my strawberry verte, and you'll see all these new growths coming up because the tree bent over from the weight. But look at this right here. That is deer, guys. Rabbits don't do that. It's too high up here. Oh, I suppose I could get to it, but that's not a rabbit. A deer came along, and I've got a bunch of growths coming up here, and they just munched the top off. But I want to talk about this for a second. First, let's head on over here and show you another one. So as I was watering, I got over to the end one here. This is the Chicago Hardy, and this caught my eye. Look at that. We're missing a leaf. There was a leaf that came off of there. And that is a deer. That's deer damage. That sucker came along and just munched that entire leaf right off of there. So here's what we know. We know that the deer munched a little stem and a leaf off of two of my figs. And I walked around through here. Those were the only things that I saw. And now I'm going to talk to you about how I feel about this and where I think we're going moving forward in the question of whether or not fig trees are deer resistant. So as you know, deer are voracious eaters, and when they find a plant that they like, they will annihilate that plant. Take emerald green arborvitae, for instance. They will strip an emerald green right down to the bones. But the plants they don't like, because of whatever reason, poison usually, it's just not edible to the deer, for those plants, they'll typically nibble a little leaf and just test the waters and then leave it alone. Now, that's where I believe we're in the safe zone. Different parts of the country are a little bit different, but I will tell you this. I have this entire rhododendron forest out front, in front of my place, probably close to 1,000 rhododendrons planted, and I originally got into that because of the deer. And, well, in part because of the deer. But the deer do not touch the rhododendrons. Now, I'll walk through all those rhododendrons, and occasionally, very rarely, I'll see a leaf nibbled on. And then they move on. They do not annihilate the plant. They don't eat the flower buds. They don't eat the stems. They'll just take a bite out of a leaf. Even in the worst part of winter, they'll just take a bite out of a leaf and they'll walk on. And throughout a season, when I get to the spring, I will typically only see 1 or 2 little leaf bites on my entire landscape. I think that's what we're dealing with here. I think the deer nibbled 2 leaves on that entire orchard and realized very quickly that they're not edible, that they've got that latex down in there, and it probably burned their mouths, and they realize this is not something that we want to be eating now. Here's the thing. You might be thinking, well, what about when there's not grass on the ground? What about winter? Well, that's the beauty of fig trees. They're deciduous, so they're going to lose their leaves, and I don't think we're going to see a deer gnawing on a fig branch. Will they eat the figs? I don't know yet. I have a feeling if they find a really ripe nice fig on there that the latex is not flowing through and it's just ready to go, I have a feeling they might nibble on it. I have a feeling they might eat it, and I have a feeling they might go for more. But time will tell. We'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I think I can safely say that fig trees are deer resistant. Are they deer proof? The jury's still out on that, and I think we're going to find out that yes, they are, only because they've just tested waters out there. If they wanted to actually eat those fig trees, they could have annihilated them already. They nibbled, they tested waters, they found out that they were not edible and moved on. Time will tell. I'm going to keep an eye on this and I'll let you guys know how it goes, but for now I'm still very hopeful that this is not going to be a problem in the future, except for maybe an actual fig or 2 or 20 getting eaten off the tree when they're ripe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'll keep you guys informed on this. I wanted to bring this to you because I know a lot of people have this question. I know I did when I created my orchard. I hope this helps inform you if you're thinking about starting an orchard and wondering if you should actually build fencing around that orchard, because it is time consuming and labor intensive and money intensive. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.